Hello everyone, my name is Ashley Stevenson and I'm here today to inform you of an important issue taking place in our surrounding cities here in Southern California and Orange County's plan to relocate their large homeless population. In March of this year, City Board Supervisors passed a vote to relocate the individuals that have been growing along the Santa Ana riverbed into the communities of Irvine, Laguna Niguel, and Huntington Beach. Immediately following this meeting, city residents angrily responded. They rallied up and made it extremely clear that they would not be willing to accept these new members into their community with open arms. The following week, due to the reaction of the community members, city officials withdrew the vote. They stated they would no longer place these residents into those communities and they would work further to find a solution. They have not given a time frame or have they given details as to where the individuals that were evicted from the riverbed would move to at this time. The quick change of action can be linked to the threats in court the county had been facing against their own cities, where residents have been reporting that they've brought this issue to their attention for years and their concerns have gone unanswered. If you're wondering why this may impact you here in San Bernardino County, you'll be interested to hear some of the comments following the meeting where the vote was withdrawn and the plans to move forward. On March 27th, only a week after, City Supervisor of Orange County, Todd Spitzer, was interviewed on a local radio and podcast show where he shared his ideas as they are looking for new possibilities and ways to approach the situation. In the interview, he stated that the county should not be held responsible to rehabilitate all of these individuals and that they would be seeking support and resources from their own cities as well as other counties in California. He also stated in the interview that the possibility to put the people, quote, in the high desert where land is cheap and far from everybody else, quote, as well as the fact that we should not be expected to place these members into communities where, quote, hardworking citizens pay their taxes and save money to enjoy quality of life, quote. His comments here have not been received well by citizens of the high desert who have already reached out and responded very negatively online. Their questions and concerns are valid, as we've already been dealing with a rising crime rate and struggles with community problems here, and they feel that we should not take on this responsibility. Not too long ago, the high desert was a very quiet place, not known to most, and only traveled through on your way to Las Vegas. Today, it's highly recognized for its growing crime issues and extremely hot temperatures. Residents here are all too familiar with the growing crime rates and issues that we're dealing with now, and many are moving away after calling the high desert home for years. We weren't surprised to learn that Victorville was placed on California's top 10 most dangerous cities, and it's rumored that we may move up this year only due to the fact that we saw a 20% increase in homicide rates from 2017 to 2018 alone. After Prop 47 was passed, we saw many felony charges reduced to misdemeanors, and members in jail were integrated back into society in hopes to get them back on their feet. Since this has happened, other residents have reported a negative impact and are stating that they feel very uncomfortable and unsafe in their homes. If we decide to move forward with the suggestions from Todd Spitzer, we will have to figure out a way to implement new transitional aid and resources to those individuals on top of what we are already struggling to provide for our own. Oftentimes, these resources and locations can be a breeding ground for drug and criminal activity. We must stand up and ask ourselves now if we can afford to do this financially and civilly in order to maintain what we hope the safety and security of our community expects. It's hard to be hopeful in this situation, as we recently saw Hesperia lose a court battle where they were fighting to eliminate programs in their community entirely. They stated that because they have begun to integrate more programs such as these, they have seen a large number of crime and the rates have skyrocketed. In court, members stated that they took a discriminatory stance on the issue and they lost. However, when looking into the matter, we have seen other cities here in California, as well as across the nation, fighting a similar battle. Because of this, we should be aware that this is a growing issue, and we cannot solve this problem by temporarily relocating these individuals into other cities or counties, and we must take a step back and address the bigger picture. Homeless rates are growing all across the nation, and we must approach this in a bigger picture. There's limited data to show that the percentage of a homeless population in society is linked to a growing crime rate. However, I feel it's important to mention some data that was recently shared in the OC Register around the growing homeless rates and homicide rates and drug-related overdoses in the area. They say that the Orange County homeless population has grown 13% between 2013 and 2017. Between that time, the number of homeless deaths has risen 64%. Half of these deaths have occurred only in the last 4 years, and most are related to some sort of drug or criminal activity. To conclude, I feel we can all agree that we are already struggling to maintain the security and safety that our community expects, and while we continue to make great efforts to better that, it will be very tough to take on this new challenge and maintain what our community expects of us. Please stand with me and ask ourselves, our city leaders, and law enforcement if this will be the right decision, or if we need to go back against Orange County and ask them to deal with their situation by themselves. It's very important to have your voices heard, as if we do not rise up and take note on this matter, we may fall victim to taking on an issue that Orange County has swept under the rug for years. Thank you.